Hello and welcome to Your Marriage Matters with none other than Doctors Richard and Nephetina Serrano, the marriage CEOs. We are here in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, live on the set, and we're super excited to bring to you part 2 of Beyond the Closed Doors, working together in ministry and in life. So get ready for the show. Hello, we're the marriage CEOs, Doctors Richard and Nephetina Serrano, and we have Covenant Rescue 911.
Listen, it is a 24-hour hotline for married couples and families in crisis. If you are experiencing depression, infidelity, or anything that makes you feel uncomfortable, I want you to call the number on the screen right now so we can talk to you, we can pray with you, we can get you to a safe place. Please don't hesitate. Call that number right now on the screen, Covenant Rescue 911. It is a 24-hour hotline for married couples and families in crisis. We will talk to you soon.
God bless you.
Thank you and welcome back to Your Marriage Matters. We are here with ministers Primeaux and talking about the show about your relationship and winning in your marriage.
Well, today we are excited to have you guys back once again to do part 2 because, you know, part 1 was just not enough.
Amen.
So we're talking about Beyond the Closed Doors, and we ended with, we just want to open up with how you guys are doing now. And Brandon ended and telling us last time that, you know, the best part about making up is learning and understanding that you are better together. And so, in knowing that, we want to just tell the audience a little bit about making it together, about what it takes to do that, and how devoted and diligent you have to be, because it takes consistency.
That's right.
In your walk, in your relationship, in order to really get to that place where you're better together, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
One of the things for me, before we got married, I asked God, I said, Lord, if I stop hearing from you concerning her, then I won't go through. And I was certain in my heart, I was certain in my mind, but the fact that the Holy Spirit of God was alive and active in terms of what it took for me to be all of the husband I needed to be for her, I said, I can't be Superman this time. I can't be married to this woman out of my own strength, creativity, any of those things. So as the Holy Spirit speaks to me, one of the things that I promised her father, he's been deceased now, what, going on 20 years?
20 years.
20 years. And I did a proposal video for her. And a part of the video was I went to his gravesite. Never met the man personally. But in going to his gravesite, I wrote him a letter. And in that letter, I promised to always make her great.
Amen.
And one of the diligent aspects of my prayer life is that I hear from God in terms of how to nurture the vision she has for her life and be able to come alongside and support her in being great in that thing that she is called to do. I think a lot of times we can tend to be a little bit intimidated by our mates, and spirit of competition can creep in sometimes when we see our mate doing perceivably better things, but we're on the same team. So if she's winning, then I'm winning.
Absolutely.
And as a matter of fact, I'm sitting here right now because of her and the connections that she has based on people that I've gotten preaching opportunities based on people that she knows. So where God has taken her has really led me into some of those greener pastures in order for my gift to develop and for me to be great. So all of the skills, all of the creativity, everything that I have is at her complete 110% disposal to use me in any way possible so that she can be great and greater in all that God has called.
Amen.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is awesome. So definitely bringing him out of his comfort zone to take him to a better place, you know, and our spouses are supposed to make us better.
That's right.
They're supposed to challenge us without saying the word challenge, but they are supposed to challenge us in some of the things and the, the places that they're going. We are coming along.
Absolutely.
You know, we are coming along. So I'm glad that you said that because That's transparency. You know, a lot of men are going through that.
Yeah.
Wow.
In relationship, because the women either make more money and they feel some kind of way, or they're doing greater and better things.
Wow.
You know, but guess
Yeah.
what? Like you said, we're still one.
Yes.
We're still one. When she makes it, you make it.
That's
when
right.
you make it, she make it. And then
Yeah.
the family makes it. As long as you don't forget about each other and forget about where God has placed you.
Yeah.
Then you'll always make it.
Yeah.
You'll always be content,
Mhm.
you know, in that state of mind where you are. You know?
That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good.
Wow. This
Yeah.
is awesome.
It's,
You know,
it's
so
awesome.
how are you feeling now that you have 6 years into the marriage and you're working out this blended family mission and co-mission that God has laid out for you? What is that like for you in this season?
Wow. It's overwhelming.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest, I could have never ever imagined that the Lord would use me and to use me with Brandon to impact the kingdom in such a way.
Mhm.
And I consistently pray
Mhm.
and I always ask God, I want to make sure that you are the center and that you are the forefront
Mhm.
and that we do this to the glory of God and that it would truly impact lives. It's not about us.
Yeah.
It's so not about us. And we try to stay humble. One of the things my pastor told me was to stay humble, to stay humble. And another woman that's been in ministry for years told me to stay close to the heart of God.
Yeah.
And another mentor told me to stay hungry. So those are our three H's. Stay humble, stay close to the heart of God, and stay hungry.
Wow.
Hungry for the things of God.
Yeah.
And so I'm grateful for my husband because he has pushed me. I mean, he pushes me to the point of tears. I'm like, no. He's like, no, you can do it. And I'm like, I can't. He's like, oh, yes, you can.
Yeah.
Get going. And he'll get me everything that I need
Wow.
to do
To
it.
get you
A
there.
computer. He made sure I had a new laptop. He
Wow.
made sure whatever
Excellent.
it was
Excellent.
that I can be all that God called me.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, my husband always shared with me one of his mentors, the late Miles Monroe, and he still mentors my husband to this day. And I love it because, you know, sometimes even in his quiet time, or when he's in the bathroom shaving or whatever, he has Miles Monroe playing.
Yes.
And, you know, those people that have poured into your life, and our Bishop, Ernest Morris here in Philadelphia,
That's right.
our overseer now, he was the one that introduced us to Miles Monroe.
Yeah.
And Miles Monroe just, one of the things that he talks about in one of his speeches is how men ought to cultivate.
Wow.
And in that cultivating, it makes us better.
Yes. Yes.
You know, and I love that. When my husband shared that with me, he was like, honey, you know, I'm supposed to make you better.
Yes.
You know, I'm supposed to build you up. I'm supposed to encourage you to achieve your dreams and the things that you want in life.
Absolutely.
You know? So I just talk to you guys out there. You know, what do you want? What are your dreams? You know, we're here in 2020 right now, right? This is a year where everybody's talking about double and double vision and talking about vision. What is your vision for your marriage? And if you're not married, what is your vision for the marriage that you desire to have? What are you looking for? Have you sought God? Have you really, really spoken to him? You see, we're here with this beautiful couple today. They told you earlier on, if you saw the first episode, they said that it wasn't always easy. You know, this road is not always a smooth sailing road. We share with you how we went through tragedy in life and how sometimes you lose things in life. And so in that loss, you need to understand that God will restore. He will restore you. So we're here today just sharing with you because we want you to know that you are better together. You are better together. And if you're still waiting on God and you're a lady or a man in waiting, you need to know that you're better with Jesus. With him in your life, you can do all things but fail.
That's right.
And so I'm so glad that we're talking about marriage beyond the closed doors, because this thing called marriage and ministry and life, without Christ, we can't do it.
Absolutely.
can't do
Absolutely.
it.
You know, the word also says that let no corrupt
Okay.
communication proceed out of your mouth.
That's right.
Because whatever it is that comes out of our mouth, the receiver is listening to that. And most of the time is your spouse.
Yeah.
So we have to change our words. We have to make sure that it's positive affirmations that we're giving to our spouse, because that's so that you sow, you also reap. So you want to sow good things into your spouse.
Yeah.
A lot of times that communication you're getting back is not because of what she's going through. Most of the time is what you're giving her. We have to change what we're giving our spouse.
Come on, that's good.
Maybe we gave some communication that wasn't good. And we might have to go back and say, babe, I think I gave you some bad information because what you're giving me is not good. So let me just change it up a little bit. So we have to keep that in mind of what we're doing. And even you was talking about the Lord when the Lord is speaking to you, because also Satan speaks to us.
Yes.
And we have to remember to speak to ourselves more than we listen to ourselves, because a lot of times Satan will tell us to do bad things.
Wow, that's good.
To our spouse.
Yes.
Wow.
And then we have to remind ourselves, wait a minute, that's my wife. She's not the enemy.
That's right.
The devil's the enemy, not my spouse.
That's right.
So we have to keep that in mind too. God put us together for a reason, and that reason is bigger.
Wow.
The vision is bigger than us.
Yes.
Bigger than us.
It's bigger than
People
us.
need to hear your voice.
Wow.
And most of the time together. And let's talk about that, because now you guys are really speaking together now.
Yeah.
And it's different, because even for us, we have to take our time. We have to bring the message on and share the message. So you're just beginning to do this. So how do you feel about sharing that?
Oh my goodness, I love it. And how it came about was I was doing the Monday morning makeover, the video live on Facebook, just me. And I asked him to come on as a guest one time.
Wow.
And he came on, and as they say, the ratings went up. Well, the video views shot up. And the comments from the people, they loved what he said. So I asked him to come on again. And then now he's just permanently, and I said, is this okay? And he was like, no, this is your thing. I'll come on every now and then. I said, honey, I think God is saying this is for both of us.
Amen.
And so both of us started doing this together, and we found that we're growing.
Wow.
We have so much more to talk about. And we're growing so much more. I mean, growing exponentially together, and also in our relationship with the Lord.
Excellent.
And in ministry, allowing us to help other people and to just really help our family and to just really, really, when one is weak, my mother always says, it seems like when you're at that place, Brandon is like, whoa, and he's bringing everybody up. And when he's at that place and you're like, whoa. Right. So she said, God allows y'all to be strong at the right time, to balance. Yes. Amen. And it's just been a blessing. It's been a blessing, not without its challenges. And we have to work so hard at it. And there's a lot of sacrifice, and there are tears, and there are times when we're tired. We just want to watch a movie, or we want to just go away. But we have to stay focused on what God has called us to do, and to be reminded that it's not just about us.
It's not just about us.
It's not just about us.
And that's very important to know, that it's not just about us.
That's right.
Because, as we live our life, and as God is leading us in this marriage journey, it's not only for us to take in. We have to know that there's others looking and watching. They're watching, even when you don't think they're watching. And so we have to prepare ourselves for that and understand that. We're so happy to have you guys here. We're going to just step away just for a moment, take a short infomercial, and we'll be right back with you.
I'll be back soon. We'll be here.
Hello, everyone. We are the marriage CEOs, Dr. Richard and Dr. Nephetina Serrano, and we want to just let you know the book that we have that's out there in stores now.
This is our book. Yes, we're releasing it this year. The Marriage Corporation. It is corporate strategies for fulfilling God's purpose in a covenant marriage. You want this in your life. It talks about the foundation of marriage, the institution of marriage, and why God instituted it so we can have good success in our relationships. You want to get this book, and you can get it by.
Pick up your copy today. You can go to our website, www.themarriagecorporation.com. Thank you.
Welcome back to Your Marriage Matters with Doctors Richard and Nephetina Serrano. And we're here live in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania with our amazing guests, Brandon and Michelle Primeaux. They are ministers right in our local area, tri-state of Newcastle, Delaware. So, wow, as we just continue on in this amazing conversation, we're so thankful that you guys were working together in ministry, because that's where I caught you on a Facebook Live.
Wow.
And
right.
that morning was the day we actually were off and able to be home. And it was just, nobody but the Lord that led me to just check Facebook real quickly. And you were there live. And I always love seeing her beautiful face. You have an amazing, beautiful wife. She is truly a doll.
the one.
Like, they need to make a doll baby out of her.
That's right.
She's the one.
Beauty queen, beauty
You are
queen.
beautiful.
And when I saw the two of you working together, it was my first time seeing both of you together on the live morning show. And wow, just the things that you were discussing, love and God's love and the different parts and aspects of love and how they all work together. And you mentioned earlier on in the show about the DART. So I want you to tell the audience a little bit about what DART is, what those acronyms stand for, because that was very impressive to me. And I think, when we're talking about beyond the closed doors and how we should respond and not react to one another, you heard that? Respond and not react.
That's right.
There's a difference. Because when we react, a lot of times we're reacting out of our emotion, that emotional place in us. A lot of times we're reacting with our flesh. When we respond, in order to respond, you have to first hear a matter fully.
That's right.
And in order to respond, you have to then think about what you're going to say before you say it. So there is a difference between reacting and responding.
Absolutely.
And so when you talked about the DART process, I thought, wow, now that's some tools that need to be in the toolbox of marriage.
Yeah.
So talk a little bit about that to everyone today.
Well, the DART strategy that we use is as a result of our big blow up and really realizing how important it is to respond properly to one another, to effectively communicate with one another. And so DART is how you hit the bullseye in your relationship when you are going through. And the DART, D-A-R-T, D is first to discipline your emotions, to discipline your emotions. And understanding that the feeling that you feel, that it may cause you to respond in an ungodly way and in a destructive way and a way that can actually destroy your relationship just by the things that you say. And so the D is to immediately discipline your emotions and to assess the situation, take an assessment of what's going on. How did we get here? What is this going on? And to really be aware of what is happening. And then you need to take a moment to rest. You need to take that moment to rest. So the R in DART is to rest. To go in your separate corners. But while you're in that corner, do not ruminate over how he said this or what he did or what he did not do or what she did not do or how she responded, but to actually seek God. And to pray and to ask God to show you. Ask God to show you what is going on. There are sometimes some deeper things going on that cause us to respond. What was the trigger? What was going on? And so in that moment of rest, it's not a moment of how you're going to come back and prove that this person is wrong, but to really be at a place of peace.
Yeah.
Be at a place of peace. So it's about prayer. It's
Yeah.
about asking those questions. What happened? And then T, come back and talk about it.
Yeah.
You have to come back
Gotta
and talk about
communicate.
it.
Absolutely.
And talk about it in love.
Yes.
Talk about it according to what love truly is. Peace,
Yeah.
patience, you know, and honor one another. And so right there, boom, you give the devil a black eye.
Come on.
You know,
That's right.
that's the bullseye. Boom.
Absolutely.
When you hit that dark method. And it doesn't cure everything. And sometimes you'll find when you talk about it that you could not resolve it on your own. Some marriages have issues and they could not resolve it on their
That's
own.
right.
Yes.
So then that way you need to maybe go to your pastor or seek a therapist or a counselor or, you know, the marriage CEO. You know,
Yes.
and get that additional help
Yeah.
because there is power
There's power.
when you can really discuss some things with trusted other couples that you can trust that have gone through some things.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and
Wow.
that first part in terms of the disciplining of emotions is so important because if you find yourself continuously hitting that same place emotional,
Yeah.
I realized at a point I had an issue with anger, and I had to get some help. I had to bring in some of the big guns in order to kind of get to some of the root
Yeah.
of what was going on.
Yeah.
Because if you keep coming across that same trigger every single time, then now there's some help that you have to seek in order to figure out why do I keep falling for this okie doke every single time?
Every
Why does the
time.
enemy keep getting me here every single time? And like you said earlier, Dr. Serrano, she's not the enemy.
That's right.
So if the accuser of the brethren keeps bringing that to the forefront to always put your mate in your place of being the one to accuse, then that's some work that you might have to do for yourself and on yourself so that you can get to the other progressive levels. And we use the strategy every time we have a disagreement.
Yeah.
And you'll find that as you begin to mature and grow closer to one another, you'll get to rest and then coming back together just like that.
Yeah.
You
And
know?
make up.
And
And make up.
that's right.
Absolutely.
Dart 'em.
Dart
'em. That's right.
Yes, we done hit the bullseye. We're good, and but now we're gonna bring it in. We're gonna bring it back together
right.
because that's how we do.
Yeah.
And it's important that bounce back or is very important
Yes.
in the relationship. And I know my own family many times say to us, you guys are unbelievable. Like you can have a misunderstanding and then you're right back
Right
together.
back.
Yeah, because we understand that, we're not gonna stay there.
No.
We know who the enemy is and it's not my husband and
That's
it's
right.
not me.
Right.
And
That's right.
so we understand that sometimes, things can go to a place, but you got to know how to reel that thing back in.
Absolutely.
It's like you said, it's none of that. I'm going to my room and you go to your room. No, honey, we're not doing that.
Right.
This is our house.
This is our house.
In the same bedroom.
Absolutely.
Doing
That's
it.
right. And
That's
working
right.
it through.
Yep.
And working it through. But I love the fact that you all realized, especially you, Brandon, when you said, I had an anger issue that I didn't realize I had.
Absolutely.
But when I became aware of it, right?
Yep.
Then I had to do something about
I
it.
did the work.
That's right.
Glory
I
to
had
God.
to do the work.
Yes.
And a lot of times we don't want to do the work. Plain and simple.
Yeah. Right.
We want this thing to just go through
Yeah.
and be okay without making sure that it's okay by putting some action behind the thought process.
Yeah, I was going to say too, a lot of times we don't know where it comes from because we haven't met our ancestors
Yes.
and those people
Very
that
good.
had that anger
Yes.
process.
It's amazing that you say
We
that.
never met them before, so
Yes.
we don't know where it comes from. So
Right.
that's why you do need to get counseling. And
Yes.
And that-
counseling
and that
for a
was
lot of
my
us is
first-
like a taboo.
That was my first step. Was that
Wow.
I was able to trace it back to
You
the
traced
root.
it back.
Wow.
Once I traced it back to the root, I realized that this thing was bigger than me. I was standing on
Absolutely.
a hill and the snowball was coming down. And it had steam, it had impact, and it was bowling me over.
Yes.
And this thing was older than me. You know how we say sometime in the church, that was old D.
That was old D.
You know, and I sure enough needed the Holy Ghost in order to say the buck stops here and no more.
Good.
Powerful.
Absolutely. And things you've seen in growing up or
Yeah.
things like that. Because I know for me, when I got mad, things happened, I would leave the house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She was like, where you
Yeah.
going? I don't know where I'm going.
know.
I just need
First
to leave.
response.
Yeah.
And it's not
That was
good
his-
because
yeah.
you're not really taking care of the issue. And of course, you know, when you're upset or when you're hungry and when you're tired, it's probably not good to talk.
No.
We tell our counselees that it's not a good time to speak
Very
to
good.
each other.
No.
You know, because
That's
you
true.
might need the rest. Because listen, those that are overnight shift have a hard time in relationship
They do.
It's
because
true.
they're tired.
That's so
That's
wise.
good.
They're
That is
tired. So
wise.
the spouse has to really understand that and be really considerate of that. Make sure the person gets their rest
schedules.
and then talk about it later. That's why weekly meetings are so important
So important.
in a marriage.
Yes.
Listen, corporate has them.
They do.
Yes.
They have old news and new news.
Yes.
Right? And whoever's
true.
doing the old news and didn't take care of it, they replace them with somebody who can do it.
That's right.
It's the same thing for us. We have to have meetings weekly to find out what's working and what's not working.
Yes.
You know, and that makes it easier. When you have weekly meetings, then those things don't pile up on you.
Yeah.
They don't pile up.
Yeah.
Which is
Wow.
really good.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's real good.
Yeah, right? Gotta process it.
Yes.
Yeah, old news and good news. Yeah. Well, you know,
Hello, everyone. We are the marriage CEOs, Dr. Richard and Dr. Nephetina Serrano, and we want to just let you know the book that we have that's out there in stores now.
this is our book. Yes, we're releasing it this year. The Marriage Corporation. It is corporate strategies for fulfilling God's purpose in a covenant marriage. You want this in your life. It talks about the foundation of marriage, the institution of marriage, and why God instituted it so we can have good success in our relationships. You want to get this book, and you can get it by
Pick up your copy today. You can go to our website, www.themarriagecorporation.com. Thank you.